Good morning, my loves. Happy Monday. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a bit vlog style, but also we're going to be talking about writing and how to create your ideal writing routine, because I have a 3-step process and it works every single time. So I wanted to make sure I shared that with you in case you are struggling to write a little bit more consistently, you know, whether that's writing copy like for your business, for Instagram, for a blog, or even just writing your book. Depending on what I'm working on, whether that is writing a caption for Instagram, because yes, a lot of thought goes into my Instagram captions and posts, or if I'm writing a newsletter or an email for my email list, or anything that's more business related, the routine to get into that writing headspace varies a little bit from when I'm sitting down to write fiction, but for the most part, the process is the same. And I wanted to bring that up because today I'm going to be showing you how to create your ideal writing routine in 3 steps when you want to write a book. So say when you want to write fiction or even nonfiction, but if you're wanting to write a book, something that is very lengthy, versus if you were to sit down and get into a routine for writing copy or writing an email or a newsletter or something like that. But I wanted to make sure that I mention this awesome and amazing free resource that my friend Marissa Corcoran has put together. It's called the COPYCHAT Masterclass. You guys, this is a masterclass series with 20+ experts on writing copy, writing words and stories and captions and posts and emails that convert, that resonate with your audience, that actually get them to follow you and want to engage with you online. So really, it's a great class for learning how to build an audience, for finding your voice, especially when you're putting yourself out there online for the first time, or maybe you've been doing that for a while and you haven't really seen any momentum, you haven't really gained any traction. So the COPYCHAT Masterclass series is going on right now. It is free to sign up. I will leave the link in the description box below. You will get access to all of these interviews, all of these tools, tips, and resources. And I'm actually one of those experts, which I feel so honored to be featured among all of these amazing copywriters. In that masterclass series, my chosen topic of expertise is creating an ideal writing routine, but more specifically for copy. So how I get in the zone when I'm about to write an email, or the things I do to write an Instagram caption or a post, or when I'm about to pop onto stories, how that writing routine looks. So if you're looking to learn how to really find your voice, to fine tune your voice and write copy that converts and really resonates with people, with your target audience, with your readership, definitely check out the COPYCHAT Masterclass series. And if you are interested in learning about how to create an ideal writing routine for maybe your fiction works or nonfiction, then keep watching this video because that is what we are going to talk about today. Okay, we're switching up the angle a bit because you guys know how I get when I'm sitting in one spot for too long. Drives me nuts. So the reason why we're starting off this video in my pajamas is because I just woke up, and the first step in my 3-step routine for creating your ideal writing routine takes place first thing in the morning. So, I'm not gonna look like this the whole video, but bear with me as we go through step 1. And step 1, when it comes to creating your ideal writing routine, is setting daily intentions in the morning, and specifically setting daily intentions around writing and creativity. It's probably no surprise that as a writer, I love to journal. I have been journaling for as long as I can remember, and you might think that when you wake up in the morning, because you've just woken up, you've had your lovely 7-8 hours of sleep, or maybe for some people it's like 4 hours of sleep. I don't know your schedule. Hopefully you're getting like 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night. But normally when you wake up, you probably think there's not much really going on up here. I have found the contrary to be the case. There's a lot of stuff that is going on up here when you first wake up. And oftentimes it's a memory bank or a collection of the things that have happened yesterday. Have you ever noticed that when you wake up in the morning, you tend to think about the problems or the things that were going on yesterday? It's like we have this clean slate and we wake up and we think about what happened in the past instead of focusing on right now, being in the moment, being present and grateful and appreciative that for the fact that we actually woke up at all, that we are breathing, that we have another day, another opportunity to start again and to make our lives what we want them to be. So there are 2 things I do first thing in the morning. It is the minute I get out of bed, I meditate for at least 15 minutes, and in that meditation, I'm doing a lot of visualization. So I'm not thinking about what happened yesterday. I'm not thinking about any problems or worries or situations that are maybe out of my control, but instead I'm focusing and visualizing what I want my life to look like, where I am going, where I'm headed. And I make sure that in my meditation, I'm evoking those feelings of joy and excitement and eagerness and enthusiasm. And this has really helped set my day off on the right track because I'm in a good mood. I feel good. I'm in the proper headspace to actually take on the projects and the tasks that I want to do that my future self is going to thank me for. So I meditate, visualize, and essentially create or see in my mind's eye how I want my day to unfold, how I want it to go, what I'm going to be doing, what I'm going to be working on, how I'm going to feel when I'm working on those things. That is really important. And then from my meditation, I go straight into journaling. So any kind of downloads or anything I've received from my meditations, any kind of, maybe I have a subplot idea for a book or an idea for a totally new book, or I have something that I want to add to one of my characters. I don't know, whatever it is, I will sit there with my journal and do a really unstructured journaling session to get all of those thoughts, all of those ideas out of my head and onto the page. So once all of those ideas are on the page and my head is empty, it's pretty clear because I've meditated, I journaled, then I'm able to really look inward and say, okay, what is going to fuel my soul today? What projects can I work on, creative projects that are going to fuel my soul? And I will make something called a top 3 list, which is something that I talk about in SOULFLOW, but I make a top 3 list every morning. And that list is essentially the 3 things that I absolutely will get done or work on throughout the day, no matter what. Those become my priority because I understand that they are soul-fueling, soul-led projects. So the reason why this first step is so essential, it is the foundation when it comes to creating your ideal writing routine, is because journaling and also meditation with that visualization aspect amplifies the focus at the start of the day. And when you amplify the focus right at the beginning of the day, it makes it a priority. So that's step 1. I'm going to get a workout in, shower, get ready, get dressed, not look like this, and then I will be back with step 2. Like myself after taking a shower, doing half of my hair. It's all good. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about the second step to creating your ideal writing routine, which is to know your W's. And the W's are what, when, and where. What are you writing today? That's why I like to do my meditations and my visualizations in the morning. That way I can set an intention so I know exactly what it is I'm going to be writing later that day. When are you going to write? When is your creativity at its peak? When are you most creative? And if you can you write during that time frame? I know for me, I am not a morning writer. I've tried it before, and while I can get some words down, I know that I am and always will be a very proud night writer. So I tend to do my best writing after 9 p.m., sometimes going into like midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. That is when I'm the most creative. I know that about myself, so I know when to schedule in my writing time. Also, where are you going to write? Are you going to write at home? Do you have a job where you have the luxury of writing from home and working at home? Or are you going to write in your office, on your lunch break, at a restaurant? Or are you going to go to Starbucks, to a cafe, to the library? Maybe you'll write in the park. Knowing what, when, and where you are going to write and having that figured out in the morning is going to help set you up for success and is going to keep you consistent with your ideal writing routine. When you know your W's ahead of time, what you're doing is taking out that decision-making factor. We already have to make so many decisions every single day as just normal human beings trying to get through life. So if you know these 3 W's, it's just going to make it so much easier for you to actually go and get your writing done because you know what you're writing, writing, when you're gonna write it, and where you're gonna write it. So for me today, I am writing in my home office. That's my first place I'll be writing this afternoon. And then also in the evening, I tend to either write in bed, which I'm trying not to do as much anymore because I've noticed it does mess with my sleep cycle a little bit, but I love writing on the couch in my living room because I love to get the fireplace all set up and the candles and get the whole mood and the vibe. Not to mention when I'm writing fantasy, I can have Skyrim, which is a video game that I love. I can have that kind of in the background to just give me more of the vibes. Also that soundtrack, I think his name is Jeremy Sewell. I'm not really sure. But that soundtrack, this Skyrim soundtrack on Spotify is everything. That is what I listen to when I'm writing the Shadow Crown series. And my third and final step in creating your ideal writing routine is to treat yourself. And yes, that is a Parks and Rec reference. We've talked about the concept of having a reward system in past videos, especially if you go back and watch my videos around NaNoWriMo. I love reward systems because it's positive reinforcement. And so when I'm treating myself and rewarding myself for a really great writing session or for maybe writing for a character that was kind of difficult for me, when I reward myself, it makes me want to go back and continue to write because of that positive reinforcement. So maybe you could create a reward system around how many days you actually stick to your writing routine. So if consistency is something that you struggle with, then creating a reward system around consistency is a great idea. So maybe you make a visual chart of some sort, or you track it in your phone where you give yourself a reward for writing 3 days in a row, and then maybe 10 days in a row, and then maybe 2 weeks in a row. What I will say about reward systems is that you have to make sure that the rewards you choose are actually things that you're excited about. Otherwise, it's probably not going to work. So my rewards might look very different from yours because you and I might be into completely different things. So for me, my rewards look like things like candles, switching up my location for writing. So I tend to be a bit of a homebody. I like writing at home, but I also like to treat myself and go to Starbucks or go to a cute little cafe. Or, you know, Barnes & Noble for me is like a 40-minute drive. So that's something that might be a bigger reward because it takes me a little bit longer to get over there. And then maybe treating myself to a stack of books that have been sitting on my TBR list, or getting a new mug that I'm going to sip out of when I write, you know, when I drink my tea or my coffee. And then an example of a bigger reward for me especially is something like a staycation, or taking a day trip to Austin, or a day trip to Dallas, where I can also write in other locations there and explore new parts of the city and just new cities in general. So again, you just want to make sure that the rewards you choose are things that you are actually excited about. All right, so that concludes today's video on my 3 steps to creating your ideal writing routine. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up to support my channel. And don't forget to click that subscribe button as well as that little bell. That will send you email notifications to your inbox whenever I upload new videos. Don't forget to check out the description box below for more information on the COPYCHAT Masterclass series. Again, that is free, so take advantage. You can also find information on all of my books, courses, programs, affiliate links, everything in the description box below. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you more than you know, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.